Today we are looking at the Debian 13 Trixie Mac desktop environment. So this is the live boot. So here you can see all the options in the boot menu like advanced install options and utilities and everything. So let's go through one by one. So here are all the options like a graphical installer, text installer and everything. So let's go back. And in the utilities, you should be seeing the hardware detection tool and the back button. So these are all the options you can see in the boot menu, and the kernel version you are using is 6.11.9 as you can see on the desktop. So if you are using the live boot, you should be seeing the Linux 6.11.9, which is the stable version. So the latest stable version is 6.12. Something like that. I just saw the 6.12 version, but I'm going to show you the official website of the Linux kernel as soon as the desktop is loaded. So let's quickly boot it in the live boot. So this is the unstable version. I already made all the other desktop environment like a LXQT, XFCE and other desktop environments like a Cinnamon and all those things. So if you want to check that out, you can check it out. So you should be seeing all the changes, and it's still in the development version. So there is no date or anything for the release or anything like that. So we don't have any release date or any information about anything about Debian 13 Trixie. But I tried all the desktop environments, but I didn't see any issues. It was properly running without issues. So it was completely like a stable version, but it's still in the development version, so we can't say anything. So I didn't face any bugs or anything in all the other desktop environments. So it was pretty much working without any issues in my point of view. I don't know how it's going to perform when you install it. I tried every desktop environment like a live boot. I didn't install it on the real hardware. So if we install it on the real hardware, maybe some issues will occur. We don't know properly because it's a development version. So in my point of view, I didn't see any issues. So that's the reason I said like 2 times already. So everything was fine. I didn't see any lag or any crashes, not even a minor bug. I didn't face anything of in any desktop environment. So that's a good work from the Debian developers or developers team. So right now the booting process will take a few like 1.5 minute or 2 minute maximum. So it's an unstable version. You already know the booting process will take a bit more. So this was the common thing in the unstable version or the Debian 13 Trixie in every desktop environment. So it took a bit more booting time other than when compared to the stable versions. For example, like a Debian 12.8. So the Debian 12.8 was a bit quicker because it's a stable version and the latest version released from the Debian team. So the Debian 13 Trixie will take a bit more time in the booting, but you don't see any issues or anything. So that's the thing I want to point out here. So it was running properly, and the Spark Linux already using the Debian 13 Trixie repositories and everything. So if you want to watch that video, there is already video in my channel, and already I made a lot of videos in my channel. So if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe, because I covered like almost like a 5,000 every type of Linux distros and sometimes the same Linux distros. So if you want to watch, you can watch, and also I'll be posting daily. So if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. For the additional information of Linux distros and the packages, you can watch my Linux shorts in the YouTube channel, which is 9to5 Linux. You can just scroll it down to the community page to get some latest releases and also packages and every information. And for the videos, you can watch the shorts, YouTube shorts, and for the full videos, the videos are already available. So this is how the desktop looks. You don't see any change in the wallpaper or anything. So let's try to change the display settings first. So in the VMware, some of the distros will automatically changes the display settings, but some of the distros will need to be changed on our own. So I'm just going to change the display settings and we can go through other things. So let's go to the preference. Let me find hardware, and my monitor resolution is 1920 into 1080. So you can see I don't see any lag or anything. So everything is responsive. And also wallpaper pretty much changed. In the VMware, the wallpaper sometimes will be like frozen for half and half. So the wallpaper is pretty much working without issues. So let's first check the system monitor, because we need to see the resources. Let's see the CPU and the RAM consumption. It's an unstable version or the development version, but you still see the good CPU and RAM consumption. So we need to run like a 60 seconds or a minute to see whether the ISO file is pretty much stable or not. So when we run like a 60 seconds or a minute line, so this box is like a minute or a 60 seconds box. So we need to run like a 60 seconds to see whether the graph is pretty much stable or the ISO file is stable. So I see everything is working fine. I don't see any issues. About the information, you should be seeing the Debian new Linux, Trixie or /SID, and the kernel version you get the 6.11.9, but the latest stable version is like around like a 6.12.2 or 1 like that. I'm going to show you all those information. So my CPU is i5 1240p. The RAM I'm using like a 8 GB of RAM for the virtual machine. And about the process, here you can see all the process running. I just changed the display settings. Other than that, I didn't touch any of the things. So it's pretty much stable right here. And I'm going to keep the system monitor in the right side corner, like let me show you. Let me keep the system monitor like this. And you should be seeing all the changes throughout the video, and you can judge it on your own. You don't need anyone's review. You can judge it on your own whether the ISO file is stable or not. So it's consuming like a 930 MB, which is pretty much okay for the virtual machines, but it will consume a bit lesser when you install it on the real hardware. So there will be some difference when compared to the virtual machines. So in the real hardware, the RAM difference will be a bit lesser, like a 300-400 MB. You should be seeing that much of maximum difference. You don't see a maximum or like a 1.5, not like a 1.5 GB. It's just right now it's consuming like a 900 MB, but in the real hardware, it will be consuming around like a 600-500 MB. So you don't see a major difference. You should be seeing like a 300-400 MB difference. That's the only difference you should be seeing. About the CPU, it's consuming like around 10% right now. I think like it should be like 7 or 6% in the real hardware. And about the system requirements of Debian 13, the same requirements will be with the Debian 12 will be the same for the Debian 13. Just type in like a Debian 12 system requirements, and same will be for the Debian 13. And if you want like a GNOME desktop environment or the KDE Plasma desktop environment, this desktop environment will consume a lot of resources when compared to the LXQT, LXDE or the XFCE. This will consume around the XFCE, LXQT and LXDE are the lightweight. So this will consume like on the real hardware, it will be like a 500-600 MB. In the virtual machines, it will be around like a near to the 1 GB. But the GNOME and the KDE Plasma will consume around like a 1.8, 1.9 GB in the virtual machines, and when you install it on the real hardware, it will be a bit lesser. So this will be the difference of the Debian when compared to the real hardware with the virtual machines. And now let's open the terminal. About the pre-installed applications, you don't see any of the things other than like a Debian reference, education, games, graphics, internet. You get the ESR version of the Firefox. And for the Office suite, you should be seeing the LibreOffice, which is pretty much found in almost every Linux distro, and also the Firefox. And about the system and video, you get the sound in the system tools, some basic things. So other than that, you don't see any pre-installed applications or any bloatware other than this. So it's pretty much okay in my point of view. You don't get any bloatware or anything like that. So this is the appearance. Let me show you the appearance of the Debian 13 Trixie. So these are all the appearance or the themes you get from the 13. So I don't know, there will be some changes. And also about the applications, right now the LibreOffice Firefox will be around like a 128 version or 115. But when the stable version is released, this also changes, and the Linux kernel will be also changed. So you need to understand these common things. So this will be updated every week because this is a weekly build. I downloaded the weekly Debian 13 Trixie weekly build. So every week there will be some changes. So right now we are using like a 6.11 kernel. After a week or maybe like a second week, there will be a different kernel. So it's not the stable version right now. It's not the like a frozen version or anything like that. The versions will be completely changing. That's the point I'm trying to explain here. But I am not getting any proper words to explain. So these are all the wallpapers you get. So there is nothing fancy or anything like that about the version. So let me try to install some commands. For example, like a neofetch, fast fetch. The fast fetch will be pre-installed. So you just need to type in like a fast fetch. So you don't need to add some lines before installing the fast fetch. So let me show you that. Let's first check the kernel or the terminal information 1.26.1. Now let's try the inxi -sv8. So it says command not found. New fetch is already ended, so we are going to replace it with the fast fetch. So the command not found for the two terminals or the commands. So I'm going to install the inxi and also the fast fetch. Let me install it. Sudo apt install inxi. You just need to type in this command and it will install the latest things. So when you try to install the fast fetch in the Debian 12.8, you need to add some things before the fast fetch. But in the Debian 13 Trixie, you just need to type in like a sudo apt install fast fetch and it will be installed without any issues. So that's the good thing, or that's the one thing you get in the Debian Trixie. But in the Debian 12.8, you need to add some things. If you didn't watch that video, you can watch that video. I already made that video of Debian 12.8, which fixed some security bugs and all the other things. So it's going to install. So it will take a bit of time, and it will take around like maybe a minute maximum. And you should be seeing the inxi. And also I'm going to install the fast fetch also. Keep an eye on the CPU and RAM. So there will be some difference because here is the installation. So that's the reason it will consume a bit more right now. So it's installed. Now I'm going to install the fast fetch. Sudo apt install. I forgot the L. Install, and let me install the fast fetch. So here is the fast fetch. Let's try to click enter. So here is all the dependencies. Let me type in Y, and it's going to install the fast fetch also. So we're going to go through all the information. Now let's go with the fast fetch first. So I forgot the words. Let's click on enter. So here you can see all the information. So OS Debian New Linux Trixie, and I'm running it on the virtual machine, which is a VMware. The kernel version 6.11.9. Uptime is almost 11 minutes. Packages 2358 dpkg. Shell bash version 5.2.32. My monitor resolution is 1920 x 1080 with the 60 Hz. Desktop environment mat 1.26.2. And window manager, you get the Marco X11, and window manager theme Menta, and the theme also the Menta icons same, and the fonts, so cursor, terminal, everything is right in front of you. And here is like a swap disk and my local IP and everything. So we got all the information. So now let's type in like a inxi -sv8. Just click on enter and it's going to grab complete distro information. So now let's go through one by one. So system, it says host like a Debian because we are running it as a live boot. So that's the reason it says like a Debian. If you install it and if you change the account name, it's going to be shown like your account name or the username. And the kernel, we already discussed about the kernel. It's a 64-bit. Compiler GCC 14.2.0, which is the latest version. And about the desktop environment, we already talked this about this. And Marco, we already saw that also. And LightDM version you get is 1.32.0. And distro, it says like a Debian New Linux. So this is like a virtual machine information, like a VMware information, so which is clearly unnecessary for the video. And the RAM, 8 GB of RAM. The available RAM will be like a 7.7 GB. Used is 1.12 GB because we installed something, so that's the reason RAM went a bit more there. So it was consuming a bit RAM there for the fast fetch and also for the inxi, so that's the reason. And the CPU, which I already said, i5 1240p is my CPU. Here is like a flags vulnerabilities, which is clearly unnecessary for the video. And now let's talk about the graphics. Here is the graphics information. VMWGFX version is 2.20. Display is X11. Server Xorg version 21.1.14. The Marco version is 1.26.2. And here is the present monitor resolution. Here are available monitor resolutions. EGL version is like a 1.5, OpenGL version is 4.5, Compact V version is 4.3, Mesa version is 24.2.7. So this is the latest version. And here is also the Vulkan version. So there is also a new release of Vulkan. If you want to check that out, you can check it out in my channel in the community pages, or else just type in like a Vulkan in the Google search engine and it will give you all the information. So here is the version for the Vulkan. And about the audio, you get the ELSA version right here. For the Pipewire version, you get the 1.26 or 2.6. So the video will be a bit more lengthy because I'm going to go through one by one. So if you want the complete information, you need to watch a lengthy video because I can't trim anything here. I need to give all the information, then the video will be around like 20 minutes. So that's the reason. If you want to get all the information, you just need to watch the full video, but I can't do like a short video. Sorry for that. So if you want full information, you need to watch the full video, or else you can just skip the important things. So about the process 267, uptime is almost 12 minutes, which I already mentioned. GCC version is mentioned, shell bash version is also mentioned. Init systemd version is 257. So you get the latest version of the systemd. People who like the systemd will be happy, but some viewers will be unhappy. So here you have the systemd version. And about the INXI version 3.3.36. Now let's type in cat /etc/issue. So you should be getting all the information. Now let's close it. Now let's check the installation. So if we have the same application or the same Calamares installation, then I'm not going to show you the installation because it will be like a waste of time to show you the same things. So let's see what happens in the installer, whether we have any new changes or anything like that. So I didn't think I didn't properly open it. Let's try to open it. So the RAM and CPU, it's still on the 1.1 GB. So if you want the exact RAM, you just need to type in like near fast fetch or the INXI to get the exact RAM. But because some of the system monitor most of the time shows proper things, but in the task manager or in the open box, sometimes the RAM doesn't show properly. So that's the reason it's better to use the commands for in the terminal to get the proper RAM usage. So don't blindly watch these things and decide. You just need to type in the terminal, for example, like INXI or the fast fetch. It will provide the exact RAM usage. The system monitor will be exactly properly 100% accurate, or else like a 99% accurate. But in the open box or in the JWM manager, sometimes the RAM doesn't show properly if you have like a task manager or anything like that. So that's one tip I'm going to give you right here. And about the Calamares installer, you get the 3.3.9, which I already said. So you should be seeing all the changes. So this is a weekly build. The next week, if the Calamares installer updated, then it's going to update everything. So you should be seeing all the changes in all the applications and also in the kernels and whatever the software is there in this Debian 13. So until it will be changed, until like a stable ISO is released, so you should be seeing every week some new changes. So that's the main thing you should be getting in this development version. Don't think that this is the last version you get in this specific Debian 13 video. So you should be seeing every updated applications every week. So that's the only thing I'm trying to explain like 2 or 3 times. I don't want to some of you will miss that thing. So that's the reason I'm mentioning like 2 or 3 times, because some of my viewers, if there is like a lengthy video, they will think like there is no such thing in the between. So that's the reason I need to repeat 2 to 3 times. And also some of my viewers are a bit older, like 65-70 age people. So I need to explain for them also, because some of my viewers commented that they can't properly see because of their age. So I need to explain like most of the things with all the things I need to read it for them. So that's the reason. Try to understand these common things. So the version you get is 3.3.9 for the Calamares, and I don't see any changes in the installation. You get the same language selection. Click on next, the location selection, and you can choose the drop down menu, or you can choose the map. And the same things here, if you want to customize, you can customize, or else keep it like that. Click on next. Here is the keyboard. Choose the keyboard. Next, the partitions. If you want the single boot, you can go with the single boot. Here is the dual boot, and choose the specific drive. Don't unnecessarily choose some random drive and install it on that. It's going to ruin it. So properly choose the drive wherever you want to install, or choose the installation destination wherever you want to install. If you want to encrypt, you can encrypt by providing the password, or else just keep it like that. Bootloader location. Here is the bootloader location. Click on next. Here is the user account creation. Provide the username, password, and everything. And there will be a summary, and the installation will take like a 20-25 minutes if you have like a low-end PC. If you have like a recommended requirements, you should be good with like a 8 to 10 minutes like that, or else a bit lesser. So it completely depends whether the ISO file is stable, and also if the recommended requirements is available, then it's going to be working properly. And about the other things, here are all the panels, and the date and time, everything is same, nothing is changed here. And about the panel, here is the panel version, we get the 1.27.1. and about the properties, here are some customization. If you want to customize, you can customize, and if you want to change like a panel blank or anything like that, you need to watch some tutorials, and you can customize it like a Mac OS or some other type of distros, like other type of operating system. For example, people who love the Windows, you can customize to Windows. People who love the Mac OS, you can change it to Mac OS. You can customize everything according to your wish. You just need to watch tutorials if you don't know what to do. So here is the panels. If you want to add, you can add whatever you want. And other than that, I don't see anything here. Let's try to see the applications information, and we're going to end, because there is literally nothing in the Mac desktop environment. You just get the basic things. Other than that, you don't get anything. And I forgot to show you the kernel information. So I'm going to open the browser and also the LibreOffice. So you should be getting the latest LibreOffice version, and also you should be getting the latest Firefox ESR version. I think the latest ESR version should be like 128, something like that. And also the Mac desktop is taking a bit of more time when compared to other desktop environments of Debian 13 Trixie. And we can't say anything wrong about it, because it's in the development. It's a development ISO file, so I can't say anything wrong. I can understand these common things in the development ISOs. So when compared to the Debian 12.8 Mac desktop environment, it's pretty much taking a bit more time here. And about the applications of the LibreOffice, you should be getting the latest version, which is 24.8.3.2. So that's the latest version. And about the Firefox version, let's check the Firefox version. So you get the 128, which I already said. You should be getting ESR version. Latest ESR version is 128.4.0. Now let me open some websites, and I'm going to show you all those things. So here I opened all the important tabs, just the 2 tabs which is important. I am not going to show you the downloading process, because I don't want you to ruin your PC. Because if you install anything like a Debian 13 on your main PC or work PC, it's a development version. If it didn't had any bugs, you should be good. But if you have any issues, then it will ruin your PC. So that's the reason I'm not going to provide any link or the downloading process. Usually I'll be showing all the downloading process and also how to install and all those things. But when it's in the development stage, I'm not going to provide any link or any downloading process. I'm not going to show you anything, because I don't want you to ruin your PC, because some of the normal users try to do that. I don't want to recommend you. But if you're a distro hopper or a Linux tester, you already know how to download the ISOs. You already know how to test it. You always try it in the virtual machines or in the PC, which you don't usually use for the work or anything like that. So there is testing ISO files available. You can download and try it on your own. And do let me know in the comment section how it was. But if you're a normal user, it's better to stay away from this version. If you want to try the stable Debian 13, you can try the Spark Linux, which has like a Debian 13 all the information, which is based on Debian 13 Trixie. You can test the Spark Linux if you want. And here is the version of the Firefox. The kernel version is 6.11.9, which I already mentioned. Let me show you the kernel version. So this is the official website of the Linux kernel. Just type in like a www.kernel.org. So the latest stable version is 6.12.1. So this is the stable version right now. And also the 6.11.10 is the stable version. We are using the 6.11.9. So these are all the stable version. If you don't know what is stable version, long-term version and mainline, you just need to click on the releases. And here is the complete description of whatever the kernel is mentioned. You should be getting all the information. About the LTS versions, here is the LTS version. The release date will be on the left side and the end of life or the kernel end will be right here. And in order to get the kernel information, you can just use the unum-r, you can use the fastfetch, neofetch, inxi, and you can use the about semicolon support in the browser to get all the information. OS theme, I already showed you all those things in the fastfetch in the terminal. And the memory size, it's a 7.7 GB. Disk space is like a 3.7. This is some browser information. And when you scroll it down, you should be also seeing the Mesa LLVM information, which I already showed you in the terminal in the beginning. So you don't have anything left here. I already showed you every information, and also I showed you all the experience right in front of you. So this is how it's performing. It's consuming 1.6 GB of RAM, and the CPU is around like under 20%. So this is how it's working in my PC. Even if it's a development version, I didn't see any issues. Same as all the other desktop environment which I already tried. So if you want to check the specific desktop environment, just type in like a Debian 13 and the desktop environment, like for example like a Cinnamon, XFCE, LXQT, and the videos will be available in my channel. So this is how it performed, and I don't have any issues. Everything is working fine, and the CPU RAM is also working fine. I don't see any issues. I don't see any lag, crashes, anything like that. So in my point of view, it's running like a stable version. I'm really satisfied with the work from the developers. So that was the video of the Debian 13 Trixie Matte desktop environment. Now let me show you the logout screen, and we're going to end the video. And if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe, because I'll be posting videos daily, and there will be shorts, and also there will be community information in my channel. So you should be getting all the latest, not only about the Linux, you should be getting the Windows information, you should be getting iPad accessories, iPhone accessories. Every information will be available in my channel, because I'll be covering all the information in my channel. So that was the end of the video. And if you want to subscribe to the video, subscribe to the channel, sorry. And if you loved the video, give the video a thumbs up. It will help my channel, and also you should be getting all the latest information. So that was the video. Thanks for watching. Peace out.